Well, this was a presentation on portable air cleaners. We were interested in learning more about how these devices work, what are the possible harmful emissions that may be produced, as well as the effectiveness, how well they perform, whether they remove the pollutants that they claim from the air or not. Well, the study was an experimental work we carried out at the Lawrence Berkeley lab. We have an environmental chamber that looks like a small room. It's a stainless steel 20-meter cube chamber in which we can simulate indoor atmospheres. So we can inject pollutants at levels that we can control, and we can then, in this case, we operated the air cleaners inside the chamber, and we measured both the pollutants that we introduced as well as the ones that were produced due to the operation of the air cleaner, as well as quantified the removal efficiency of the pollutants that we were introducing. So we looked at both the emissions and the elimination of pollutants. Well, we found that in some cases, some air cleaners were emitting certain pollutants, and we did a model to predict what would be the concentrations of those pollutants in two scenarios that are common indoors, and found that in a few cases those levels were of concern. So that was, if you want, the negative aspect. Also, in some cases, we found that some air cleaners had a good performance in removing, for example, ultrafine particles. So the goal of the study was to look at both, to look at what are the risks associated with using these air cleaners, as well as what could we learn in terms of the performance and what needs to be improved. An important aspect that we found is that for volatile organic compounds, VOCs, these air cleaners were not particularly effective. You know, the removal efficiency was somewhere between 0 and 40% for the different, we had like 10 different VOCs that were injected simultaneously. So we think there is a lot that can be done to improve these devices in order to remove VOCs more effectively. And this is something that we learned from this study. This is a market that is fairly unregulated. There are really no standards, no regulations, and therefore manufacturers can really sell and advertise, or have claims that are really difficult to verify. So one thing I think is necessary is to use, in part, the information we produce here, but also the information produced by other colleagues in this area, and really developed standard methods that can be used to more systematically measure the performance of these devices, and therefore have a more quantitative approach to air cleaning.